I'm back.
Today we're going to look at a sneaky new ship class that may have turned the Stellaris combat meta on its head, and may also provide players with a one-size-fits-all ship design that could be the last design you ever need. And speaking of military designs, I need to say a massive thank you to today's sponsor, War Thunder. Very early in the game, we can research specialized combat computers to unlock combat roles for our ships. In 4.0, there's been a tiny change that is having a massive impact. And this change is going to have an impact on not only your initial designs, your starting Corvettes. Here, let me introduce you to the Lame Corvette. This is, at present, one of the most powerful early game Corvette builds when you don't have much technology. We're going with blue lasers. They have a reduced damage versus shields, but a large increase in damage versus armor and hull. Throwing in some flak battery not only should deal some damage to incoming missiles, but also has very, very good additional shield damage, much better in fact than a tier 1 or 2 kinetic weapon. And then when it comes to combat computers, I've gone for a swarm computer to increase our evasion chance. Corvettes have the highest evasion in the game, and this is in a lot of ways their best defense. This gives you a chance to evade incoming attacks, which for this Lame Corvette is basically about 70%. This is further offset by the tracking of a weapon. Small weapons have higher tracking, and higher level sensors increase that tracking further to reduce the effective evasion of your ships, and thus limit your Corvette's ability to not take damage. Because let us never forget, Corvettes are small and squishy. But what if we didn't need to evade damage? What if instead we could simply outrun it? Ladies and gentlemen, in a move that is going to send shockwaves through the ship meta in Stellaris, the developers in their almighty wisdom have given Corvettes access to artillery combat computers. Let me break down why this is completely bonkers and broken for you. In the past, our Corvettes have had picket and swarm combat computers. This means they've stayed at super close range with swarm, or medium range with the picket. Generally, this puts them at a range of about 0 to 50, so they're very, very close to the enemy ships, right up in their face, in fact, and they're going to get battered by all of the enemy's short-range weaponry, specifically disruptors, autocannons, anything that likes you to get in real close and personal. But artillery combat computers are very, very different. Artillery combat computers keep your ship at long range, firing your longest range weapons on the targets. So if we pick an artillery combat computer and combine it with missiles, only missiles, we're going to sit at a comfortable 100 range. Add into that the fact that Corvettes are the fastest ships in Stellaris, and the missiles have a 360-degree firing arc, so they can always fire no matter where you are, and you can basically do anything you'd like with these ships. They're going to be able to stay out of range of pretty much all weaponry from star bases and run away from any ship slower or larger than them. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, and it's completely free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile. Take command of over 2,500 historically accurate tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from 10 nations spanning from World War I biplanes to cutting-edge jets. Every vehicle is modeled with true-to-life damage systems, and the X-ray view shows exactly how destruction happens, right down to internal components. And now, War Thunder is on mobile as well. It's the same epic battles in your pocket with intuitive controls and stunning visuals. Personally, I love playing the realistic mode. It's about as real as it gets. You can click the links down below in the description to sign up and grab your massive bonus pack, including the exclusive Eagle of Valor Decorator, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium for new and returning players. PC and consoles only, and only for a limited time. Moving over to the late game, your Corvette may look something like this. But is this the best we can do? Is this the best Corvette we can muster?
Is this all you can conjure, Saruman?
For those of you that thought the answer was no, you're absolutely bloody right. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the ultimate Corvette class, a ship of unbridled fury and destruction. This is using the best weapon in the game at the moment, the ancient nano missile cloud launcher. This is an archaeotech weapon, which does come with a minor drawback, but overall, now, it's actually not going to be very much of a problem, and I'll show you why in just a little bit. The ancient nano missile cloud launcher has a phenomenally high fire rate. Each missile does very little damage here, but the cooldown is less than 1 day, meaning it is firing very, very rapidly. The sheer volume of missiles will overwhelm basically any enemy point defense. This is a fully equipped battleship which carries 2 Guardian point defense weapons that have a cooldown of 0.5. This means that one of those battleships can just about handle the missiles from a single Corvette. But we're not going to hit them with a single Corvette. Oh no, 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 ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hit them with an absolute swarm of the bastards. And if you're enjoying this video, please swarm that like button with artillery corvettes. So with the ancient nano missile cloud launcher, we can comfortably sidestep anything like point defense and hit the target basically guaranteed. On top of that, we have full shield and armor penetration, so unless you're running 50 to 100% armor or shield hardening, yeah, this is going to hurt quite a lot. And if that wasn't all, we're also getting plus 25% additional hull damage from these basically long-range artillery disruptors. The range is actually going to increase yet further if we go up to our sapient or psionic combat computers. They're going to get 20% additional weapons range, so we're going to be firing at least a range of 120. Combining it with rapid deployment for another 10% weapons range and 25% ship sublight speed means that our ships are going to be moving dramatically quickly. This is a base speed of 400, which is a lot, and basically anything short of a fighter is not really going to hit us very well because we are maxed out on evasion. I want to address the somewhat undersized elephant in the room though, and that is the minor artifact cost of our nano missile cloud launchers. In previous patches, I have raved about how fantastic these weapons are, but how completely useless they are if you're trying to build a fleet around them. That's kind of not the case anymore though, and that is because the Faculty of Artio Studies has been updated as of Stellaris 4.0. Yes, what this is going to do once you build it is change the biologists on the planet on which it's placed. For every 100 biologists, you're going to get an additional 0.5 minor artifacts. So this faculty building can go down absolutely anywhere, but it will be much more effective if we can find a relic world to place it on. I'd also recommend you go with a society research specialization to maximize those society researcher jobs, or if it's converted over, archaeo-engineer jobs. Here we have 2,370 pops working the archaeo-engineer job, and that's granting us 24 minor artifacts every single month. If we can increase this number, which of course we can do by simply building more city districts and pushing our physicists and other jobs into archaeo-engineers, I could switch over this research enclave, for example, into archaeo-engineer jobs, then our income will go higher and higher. But even then, with this meager 23 minor artifact income, we can build a brand new Corvette every single month. And if you're trying to min-max this thing, we could get that number even higher. Don't forget to take Archaeo Engineers, giving you a 33% boost to Archaeotech weapons damage and a 20% reduction to the minor artifact cost on your ships. But you might be wondering how this ship will fare against, I don't know, a late game all-rounder battleship with a bunch of advanced strike craft. This should kind of be a bit of a problem, right? Those strike craft are going to run in, and with 100% tracking, they'll completely cut through the evasion of the Corvettes, and these missiles will have long range, plus the spinal mount. I'm kind of quaking here, thinking about how badly it could go. Well, you needn't worry, ladies and gentlemen, because it's not really going to go very badly at all. Here we have 80 Corvettes against 10 battleships, and yeah, they're going to completely decimate the battleships, losing... We've lost around 17 Corvettes there. Absolutely A-okay. Pretty much no matter what the enemy bring, having a combination of 90% evasion and artillery combat computers keeping you at the maximum range possible to minimize enemy weapons fire, plus the speed to actually stay at that maximum range, with the ancient nano missile cloud launcher, you can do basically anything. My favorite thing with this ship class is watching some disruptor cruisers attempting to handle it. This was the mainstay of my fleet before patch 4.0 in the mid game because it could basically handle everything. But I tell you what it can't handle. It cannot handle artillery corvettes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, an opponent could build a swarm of only carriers to try and deal with you, but then at that point, just throw some frigates in the mix and slap them down. Honestly, the entire thing is ludicrous. Corvette Swarms are back, ladies and gentlemen, and they are bigger than ever. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to use our links to get your hands on the massive bonus pack and play War Thunder absolutely for free. If you enjoyed this video on artillery corvettes in Stellaris, but you're having a few issues with planetary management in the 4.0 update, you'll want to watch my video on that very topic. To do that, click the video on screen now.